Marketing and Business Solutions radio show with Ron Couming of both RCS Technology Solutions and RCS Online Solutions, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs attract, convert, and retain their ideal customers and clients to achieve even greater success using various internet marketing techniques and methods. Today, the purpose of this show is we bring on subject matter experts, people who have been there and done that or are in fields, to talk about how you, the business owner, entrepreneur, or somebody who's in marketing, can utilize their services or the information that they provide, because they have gone through trials and tribulations, and they can talk about how they overcame them. This will help you both learn how to avoid them, or, God forbid, you actually get caught up in one of them, you'll learn a way to navigate through them. And then in the second part of the show today, we're going to talk about how to get the most out of your local SEO. So today we're going to only have one interview, and that's going to be with Bopha Malone. And Bopha Malone was a VP and regional business advisor at Enterprise Bank, where she supports business development efforts in the Greater Lowell region. For over 10 years, she has helped thousands of families get into their homes and help to start and expand their small businesses. Bopha immigrated to the U.S. at the age of 9 and credits caring mentors for helping her get to where she is today. As a first-generation Cambodian who benefited from the support and encouragement of others, her passion is to seek opportunities through her roles at the bank and in the communities to give back and help others in ways that she has been helped. In addition to her role at Enterprise Bank, she has been an effective community activist serving on a number of non-profit organizations. She is on the board of Lowell General Hospital, Middlesex Community College, Women Working Wonders, and Girls Inc of Lowell. She was the past chair of the Cambodian Mutual Assistance Association. She is a Rotarian, a wife of Tom and their 2 children, Taevy and Caelan. I'm sorry, I know I just mispronounced that. Caelan, okay. And she is currently on leave of absence from the Enterprise Bank and running for U.S. Congress in the MA3 district. Can you please pronounce your children's name again?
Yes, Ron. Thank you so much for having me this morning. Taevy is my daughter, and she is 8, and Caelan, who is 5, is my son.
Excellent. Thank you. And I apologize for mispronouncing their names. And thank you so much.
Not at all.
Thank you so much for blessing us. I know, as being a small business owner and entrepreneur myself, that money and the ability to get money, whether it's from a loan or a line of credit or the SBA, is like oxygen to a small business. And this is something that you help business owners and entrepreneurs achieve?
Yes. As you mentioned in my bio, Ron, for over 10 years, it's been really rewarding for me to, serve as an advocate, working at Enterprise Bank, serving as an advocate for families to be able to get into their homes and building their small businesses, medium-sized businesses. And a lot of the times, Ron, what I find is that a lot of the business owners, they're hardworking people. They are, they know what they're doing. It's just they don't know their resources, and it's so easy to do. So it's so nice to know that, by working with the bank and partnering with a lot of the nonprofit and a lot of the organizations in the Greater Lowell area, just by sharing small resources to them to let them know what is available to them. It's been rewarding that they are able to either start up, expand their businesses, and it's so important because this makes our community stronger. It provides jobs for families, and it's just very, very rewarding to be able to help them in that way.
I love it. And I once read a statistic somewhere that 90% of all jobs in the United States, or roughly 90%, are created through small businesses.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you look at it, Ron, so in the Massachusetts 3rd District, as I'm running for U.S. Congress, one of the main issues in our district is access to good paying jobs, right? And small business and medium-sized businesses are the lifeblood of our communities. They're the one who's providing jobs. They're the one who's creating a vibrant community and a safe community for us. So it's so crucial and it's so important to support them and find ways to help them grow and thrive and make sure that, that they are getting enough of the resources that they need in order to run their business so that we can all, benefit from that.
I love it. And it's great that you're coming with a community-based, mindset and ideology, just like Sam, the owner of this radio show, radio station, WCAP 980.
Oh, I love Sam.
He's a great guy, but he gives up. This show is free. You know what I mean? It's free to. I don't get paid to be on the show, but I don't pay to be on the show either. The guests come on this show, and they give tips and feedback to help business owners, entrepreneurs, or people who want to be, and it's just a total gift to the community. So, and my part is, I love being part of being able to help others, and by default, I think that I help them. And it sounds to me like that's what you're doing, whether you're helping people getting finances at the bank to grow their business or get their first home, which is huge. It's such a personal accomplishment. But then also those business owners, not only do they grow and have a better life or a better business, it thrives more, they turn around and hire more people. And then those people, in turn, have more money, disposable income to, to pay their bills. But, it's like a ripple effect. So I love it.
Yeah. Definitely. As you, same as Sam, as you may know, as you mentioned, I've worked at Enterprise Bank for over 10 years. And one of the things about our values at Enterprise Bank is the community aspect of it. And that's why I love working there so much. It's actually my first and only job. And, the founder, Mr. Duncan, Jack Clancy, and Mr. Main, all from, we all act this way, but it's so reinforced by, our senior management of how important it is our community is to us and how we support small businesses and our community, because when they thrive, we thrive, and we're all in it together. So the more that we find ways to support them and make their jobs and lives easier, the more that, we benefit as well. As I mentioned before, it's all about give and take. And from what I've learned for over 10 years is that it's so important to give our time, to give our service to our community, and that means, to the small businesses, making sure that even though, it might take a little longer, that we provide the extra service, the extra hand-holding, because, from my experience in working for over 10 years, Ron, with small business, is that they are everything to their business. They're the owner. They could be the cook. They could be the financial person. And the thing is that, even it's not that, and as a bank individual, someone who is serving them, we always try to make sure that we find a way that how do we support them better. If they can't come to the bank, we go to them, and so that's how we serve. And to go back to the community aspect is that, it's a lot of in my community work. When I've been involved in a lot of community organizations. A lot of, the support that we get are from the small businesses that supports the social service programs that makes our community thrive. So we're all in it together, and that's what is important.
I love it. And I think you touched on a very important part. A lot of what you said is super important, but I'd like to focus on one part for a second and then revisit others. When you talked about small business owners and entrepreneurs being almost everything, you know, they have so many hats. They could be the accountant, they could be the marketer, they could be the person actually doing the work, so they're in their business. But when a business owner is so deep in their business, they're unable to work on their business. There's a great book by Michael Gerber. Yeah, there's a great book by Michael Gerber for those listening called The E-Myth Revisited, and he talks about how if you're in your business so much that it can't function without you, then you really have a job and not a business. You've just created a job for yourself. So putting in place sort of automation and hiring other people is super important. And with funding, whether it's from Enterprise Bank, the SBA, and we'll talk briefly on how people can possibly learn the things they need to have a bank consider them. So maybe if we can touch on that in a second. But one of the things I really focus on when I talk to my clients, and I focus on online marketing and helping businesses grow, get found, get hired, and get found, get considered, and get hired so they can grow and make more money and serve more people. But one of the main things I tell them is learn it, do it, and delegate it. So you learn it to a point where whatever it is, you learn what you need to grow your business or what needs to be done so somebody who you hire isn't taking advantage of you or telling you it takes X amount of time or X amount of money. But you need to delegate it and focus on what your 1, 2, or 3 money-making, producing activities are, and anything that you can pay somebody $10, $15, $20, maybe even $25 an hour, you need to do that. And it sounds like if they went to a bank like yours, or they at least learned the process and got an injection of funds, that they then would be able to hire other people, delegate some of those things, and then work on their business and focus more on their top producing money-making activities, and instead of being busy, now they can become productive. So I'm a big fan of people getting injections of funds because it just helps them in so much ways. And you're a Rotarian. I mean, you're doing all these things, and I'll tell you, MA3 district, I think it's huge that we have somebody who is so civically orientated on one hand, but and also civically orientated for both people and business, but also pro-business too. It's kind of like it's a unique blend. So I think that it's kind of really nice to have somebody going up that sees the benefits of all parts instead of just one side or the other.
Oh, yeah. It's very, very crucial that we support our, as I mentioned earlier, and I want to reiterate it, for the past 10 months that I've been campaigning and running for this seat, Ron, one of the main issues that our families need throughout the district is jobs. And that's where small businesses and medium-sized businesses come in. They're the lifeblood of our communities, and we really need to find better ways to support them. It's very crucial, and I want to go back to what you were saying in terms of business owners. At a certain point, they have to, find ways to make sure that they hire others and not do it all themselves. What I find, though, is that especially in the immigrant community, because when they first, and that's what I've been working, that's the community that I've been working with as well in the Greater Lowell area. And as you know, in Lowell, there's a lot of immigrants there, and a lot of these immigrants, they are very savvy with business and opening it and creating jobs as well. And one of the things that's tough for them is that they're so into making their business grow that they forget that there are resources, and that's where we actually at Enterprise Bank, we used to do this where we partner with various organizations to offer these immigrant-owned businesses a program or kind of like a scholarship. And I don't remember the name of it. It's not. There was a program that we did that allowed these business owners to instead of them having to pay a full price, we would give them a scholarship to attend these courses to help to help them market better, to help educate them, to help train them, to provide mentors for them, because a lot of the times it's like you can be hardworking and you want to do what's good for your business, but as you said, there's a way where it comes a point where you could actually expand it and scale it and make it better and reach more people, and that's where there's many factors that come into it. That's either not knowing those resources or not having that confidence yet, right? To go, but having mentors and having people to say, we can help you, we can support you. There are resources out there. We can help to market it better. We can help to find people that or services that could help with your human resource aspect of it. So there's a lot of resources out there, but many of us don't know about it, and especially people in the immigrant community.
Wow, that's amazing, and I'm glad there's people like you out there helping business owners and entrepreneurs. But let's say somebody wanted to go to a bank, any bank, and I know your personal history is with a particular bank, but I'm sure most of the process is the same. What
Yes.
would be some of the information that people would need to have lined up, or that most banks or the SBA would ask for? So our listeners who might be thinking, yeah, I could scale, I could grow my business, I could buy new equipment, I could get one or two people to come in and take care of my bookkeeping or my appointment setting or cold calling, so I can now focus on business and make more money. So what would be something that a bank, any bank, would be looking for to help people actually get a loan?
Well, the standard would be, based on if it's a startup or it's already an existing business or things like that. We typically would need information on the business owner or any of the assigners, tax returns, information on the business. If it's a startup, we would like to see a business plan, and if you don't have that yet, we can actually help to mentor or guide you, or whether it's working with you or connecting with you to organizations such as SCORE or others that could help you to create that plan. And based on what you need, there's different programs that we can provide, whether it's a conventional loan or whether it's something that if it's a startup that needs support, that might need a guarantee from the SBA, we would reach out and do that. So there's the standard would be making sure that you have tax returns, personal and business, and based on what type of loan it is, it might be collateral as well, and we would need to see some skin in the game as well, as in terms of, how much you have and how much you're willing to put in for your business and where it's all going into.
I love it. And I know, I believe with the SBA, they like to see people have 2 years history, or... Yes. And when you say skin in the game, you mean people have put their own money up?
Yeah, meaning how much, in terms of how much, because we would the bank always wants to know that you have the ability to pay the loan, right? We want to know whether it's either how much you're putting into the business, or maybe how much you have on hand if something was to happen, that you have some reserve there.
Nice. So it's always important to have a reserve, a backup. Now, if, just in case, at least 1 month, 3 months, what would you recommend people have? If somebody was going to go into a bank and apply for a loan to grow their business, what would you recommend they have? In some, I think I've always heard that you actually apply for the loan or you apply for the line of credit when you don't need it. And because that way there, it's, it's not like a sense of desperation or urgency.
Right.
And people are more likely to give it to you at that point, and then you just sit on it and don't use it until you actually need it.
Right. I would highly recommend that if if a business is able to apply for a line of credit, that they should definitely have it for emergency, because you never know. And then sometimes it's just meeting payroll, and we see a lot of that as well. And so I mean, it all depends. I would say the more that you have, the better. And I know that a lot of businesses would rather put less down payment and have on hand to be able to do other things. So, I mean, we typically, a lot of what I do, because I'm not the underwriter and I'm not the lender, I'm more of the advocator for businesses. But I do recommend, like, at least 6 months worth in case something happens,
Yep, that sounds great. Okay, now if there was, we have about 5 minutes left, and I want you to impart to people, what they could really do to help them achieve a loan, and then also maybe let people know just how business-friendly you are, so they may consider voting for you for Congress.
So as as I mentioned before, I've been working at Enterprise Bank for over 10 years, advocating for small and medium-sized businesses. I love, we should all love our small businesses and support our our local businesses, because they are the lifeblood of our community. It's not just the lifeblood in terms of jobs, but they help to create a healthy community. And I thank all of the entrepreneurs, all of the small business owners for the risk that they take, and all of the things that they do for our community. And it's been nice for me by working at Enterprise Bank to be able to connect with a lot of them and to see that it's been rewarding to and like I said, a lot of what I do too, it's not even anything big. It's just being able to share the knowledge and the resources that's already available to them that they just didn't know. So in turn, we help them grow, and that changed their families, not only their families' lives, but the community as a whole. So, and in running for Congress, the reason why I'm running is to help everyone achieve their American dream. I came here as a refugee. I wouldn't be where I am today, Ron, if it wasn't for good people helping me, mentoring me, and guiding me to achieve mine. So for over 20 years, I've been giving back to the community by serving as a community activist, as well as we talked about earlier. And by doing all these things, being a part of Enterprise Bank, doing what I do, and also serving as a community activist, I've been able to help others achieve their American dream. And now this is a chance to be able to do that on a broader level. And one of the ways that people achieve their American dream is owning homes and building their businesses. And I would love a chance to continue to help people on that level. And I have been doing it for many years. I will continue to do it no matter what. When in Congress, I would love a chance to advocate for small businesses by either being on that committee or providing resources to that committee, because of the vast experience that I've been that I have for over the years, not with many communities, because our district is so diverse. I worked with various communities and understand the challenges that they go through in order to overcome certain things. So I truly believe that I have that experience and the background. And if your listeners would like to learn more about me, they could go to my website. It's www.Bopha, which is my name, B as in boy, O, P as in Paul, H as in Harry, A as in A as in Apple, for FOR Congress.com. And I ask, we only have 9 days left. I ask everyone to vote, and when you do go vote, please think of me. I ask for your votes, and I will continue to work for our community.
I love it, and I love the fact that you came here at 9 as an immigrant. You used the systems that were in place to both educate yourself and to grow. And you have a beautiful family. You have a great career. You've been giving back for over a decade now, and now you want to continue and help other people have, not just in business but in their personal lives, have a better life. And yeah, to me, it's so important. And at the end of the day, we can have all the accolades, we can have all the money and all the achievements, but at the end of the day, it's really about serving others. And what did you do to help other people achieve their dreams? And that's one of the reasons I do this show, and I do it again totally for free, because I give away a lot of free info, and if people have the skill set, go and do it. But what you're talking about is like a whole nother level. So if I lived in your area, and I'm not sure if I live in Billerica, but I also know that the areas that you guys cover are much more than just Lowell. You cover the Greater Lowell area, which is like 7 or 9 communities. So, but I've known you, and all the listeners, I've known Bopha going back to 2010, I believe. I first met you at Pie Lynn at different events for CMAA, and if I lived in that area, I'd absolutely vote for you. One, not just because of your issue. Yeah, but I mean, I've known you for a long time, so I know you actually walk the walk and talk the talk, and you're giving back, and you're on so many boards, so it's really hard to dispute it. So please know that if I lived in that area, I'd be voting for you.
Thank you so much, Ron. Your support means the world to me, and I very much appreciate your friendship and for just your friendship over the years, and also allowing me to be on your show. I truly believe that with a lot of blessings come responsibilities, and I've been very blessed, that I've had so many good people in my life to help me get to where I am, and I just want to make sure that others have a chance the way that I did, and it's so important to help people by giving them that chance and to share with them, because that's what it's all about. It's all about us helping each other, because when you thrive, I thrive, and we all benefit from each other.
I love it. And everybody, just so you know, this episode all episodes are archived on both WCAP 980 AM's website and RCS Technology Solutions .com, as well as RCS Online Solutions. So you can go back and listen to the great tips that Bopha gave you with respect to what you need to present to a bank to get more money or funding, and some of that information you can use possibly if you wanted to go to a VC, a venture capitalist, or someone else, but at least you'll have an idea of what is needed. And once you have that infusion of funds, you can really scale and grow your business by truthfully just getting out of your own way and trying to wear too many hats and being a jack of all trade and not really specializing or excelling in any. There's a big difference between being busy and being productive. Bopha, I want to thank you very much for your time, and everybody, if you're in the area, MA3 coming up soon. Bopha, when is the actual election?
September 4th is the primary. We have 9 days left.
Cool. And so, I personally, I would love to have somebody who is both who understands business and what businesses needs and how it helps the community as a whole, but also has a heart. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can be so focused on business and numbers, but you lose your heart, and you don't necessarily lose it, but it all becomes return on equity and investment, and it seems to me that Bopha crosses both. So I recommend you vote for her, and I hope everybody has a great day. So you've been listening to Bopha Malone on the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show with Ron Couming, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs attract, convert, and retain their ideal customers and clients using various Internet marketing techniques and methods at both RCS Technology Solutions and RCS Online Solutions.